That's really where we were. We had just arrived at the library. We were looking for information on Blackwater Hattie because that was sort of our lead on what's happening with all this craziness. Because Crazy Doc Brown told us to.
That's it? Well, we literally went from there, and then we were at Jim's father's apartment, or Jim's apartment, and then his father killed himself, and then we ran away, and we went to a library, right?
Not directly, but I think that was sort of we need to find out what's going on, and if that is tied together, then that's at least something to look into.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, we're kind of, we are up to here in madness at this point, so we're running with it.
There's some crazy,
There's lots of crazy.
There's lots of crazy. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost like we're playing a horror game with a lot of Lovecraftian overtones or something. I don't know. It's weird how crazy just kind of seeped into the story.
I don't know where you got that from.
We're in Arkham. Arkham is known for two things: Lovecraft and Asylum.
This really, no, I don't want that.
Don't get me wrong. I'm fully in favor of it. I'm just saying,
Okay, so you guys have arrived at the parking lot, and Jim, it's your assigned parking spot, as discussed, is all the way at the back because, of course, it's going to be.
I understand.
Okay, so you're heading towards the library?
No. I have to walk over with Mara to get her access to the computer thingy dobber.
Right, so you're walking towards the library.
Oh, is it in the library? Yeah, okay. I thought it was like a computer lab somewhere.
Isn't that where computers are, in the library?
Well, not a computer lab.
No, the computer lab is outside, in the rain.
When's the last time you were at a library, Jim?
In real life?
Yeah.
I was technically standing near a church library on Sunday.
Okay. I don't think that counts.
No. When was the last time you actually, went into a library?
I went to Half Price Books a couple weeks ago.
That sounds like a bookstore.
Never mind.
All right, shut up.
Hey.
I read like a motherfucker. I just don't go to libraries.
High school. So, about 20 years ago?
Oh, wow. I think it was more than 20.
It was. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yep.
All right.
I'm old. I get it.
We're walking towards the library.
Continuing on.
So, as you approach the library, you see on one side the statue of Seshat, the Egyptian goddess of knowledge. And on the other side is Athena, the Greek goddess of knowledge.
Okay.
I'm going to grab their ass on the way by. Not really.
You might need a stepladder.
Firm.
Whatever.
They're very firm, yes.
Well, yeah.
Rock hard abs, too.
What's the your immediate hand gesture is something like this as you're talking?
I have to stop. God damn it.
So we're back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We back.
I think I've played this game before. The fact that he's pointing these out means that at some point we have to solve a puzzle where we find an oddly shaped key that fits into the Athena one, and then another oddly shaped key that fits into the Sachet one.
No.
Or its atmosphere.
No, it's just so you know what I'm talking about. All right, so seeing as how it's been an hour since we interrupted the session, I'm just going to restart because it's easier that way.
Wait, which one is... Hold on. Oh, it says who they are. Never mind. Sachet. Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
Sachet.
So, you get to the parking lot. You're walking towards the library. On one side, you have the bas relief of Sashat. On the other side, you have the bas relief of Athena. You walk in the library. Frank, you are taking Mara over to, I'll say, the receptionist to get her access to the computer lab.
Yes.
Okay. So we're now caught up to episode 12-ish.
12-ish. Yay.
The one that didn't happen.
Shit. Holy cow. Holy shit. Yeah.
All
Been a
right.
while.
So, you go up to the receptionist. Frank, what are you doing?
Does she have a name tag or a nameplate or something?
Barbara.
Hey, Barbara. This is Frank from maintenance. I'll show her my badge.
How can I help you, Frank?
Hey, my friend Mara here needs to get in the computer lab for a little bit. She's working on a project for me, researching solvents. And can we just get her set up real quick?
Okay.
Solvents. Yay.
She looks at you a little sideways, but very well. Mara, if you'd like to follow me.
Sure.
At which point, Marcus kind of leans over to Frank, like, researching solvents?
You didn't say nothing. Did you have something better to come up with? Oh, that's right, you didn't, because you're a flunky. Let the boss talk.
Oh, damn. That's fucked up.
I'm just kidding, Marcus. Don't hate me.
That's
Let
all
the
right.
adults talk.
I give Frank a
Please
hug and a
love
little
me.
affectionate kiss on the cheek. Like, I could never stay mad at you. Not really.
Wait, did you just, like, kiss him?
No, but...
Oh. I was gonna say, is this... Go on.
There may be undertones to our relationship that you don't know about yet.
I would
We've
like
known
to
each
see
other
where
a
this
very long
goes.
time. We've worked together very closely.
Before we get too far, I would like to point out we're 90 seconds in and Waffles hasn't punched anybody in the dick. So that's a record. Congratulations, Katie.
Speaking of congratulations,
Careful. I may punch you in the dick.
Not from Ohio.
Speaking of congratulations, though, I am going to make a quick interruption for our viewers. Videos will likely be sporadic for a while. Because congratulations, Jim, on your upcoming son. So.
Yay.
He doesn't mean a child. He means like an actual son, like a star. I've purchased it.
He's birthing a son out of his
Ass.
penis. That's gonna burn.
Then you can blow sunshine up my ass, literally.
So.
Well, thank you. I hopefully it won't get in the way too much, but the way our schedule's been going,
Yeah.
the kid's not even here, and we have trouble getting together. So we're gonna. I think our current plan for everybody that is watching, all 4,000 million of you, is I think we're gonna try to wrap up at least whatever storyline we're on, and then maybe as we have time, we might come back and hit some of the side plots or side hooks that Guido has laid out in abundance. I hope
So. But we'll see, But for those that actually do watch, it will continue to be sporadic, but we'll do what we can because at least I, for one, have fun. So hopefully
I do too.
It's alright. It's adequate.
adequate. Fair. That's
It's
fair.
good times. We suck less than, slightly less than average.
Well, you said adequate. I thought you said I gotta quit. I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm done. Peace.
Screw you guys, I'm going home. Okay, so
All right, let's get to it, huh?
Yeah. All right. So Mara, the Barbara takes you into the computer lab, gets you set up, gets you logged in.
Roger.
Roger.
Anything in particular you're looking for?
I have no idea. Is there? That's a good question.
I can't remember what we were going to do. Was she going to do Blackwater Hattie?
I think we all were, and also there was something about. Wasn't Blackwater Hattie something in the inscriptions in the dad's room that he had painted the walls with?
No.
No?
No.
Did we take any pictures of those?
I'm sorry.
The poop drawing?
Now I think I'm remembering now. The link was that like the walls said something about they come for us at night, and so did crazy old Doc Brown, who said, and he mentioned Blackwater Hattie. But
Correct.
They both said something about something comes for us at night.
Right. So if I remember correctly, Mara was going to do research on Blackwater Hattie, and
not the poop drawings.
Right. And Frank and Marcus, you guys were going to try and do research on the
what's fucking with us.
Right.
We know we're under the influence of something, we just don't know what, and we definitely don't know how to get rid of it.
Okay. Is that the plan?
Yes.
I think that's a good plan.
It's a plan. We're going with it.
Okay. All right. So
got my keyboard out.
So I'll need research rolls from everyone.
Enhance.
Magnify.
Enhance.
Magnify times 20.
Enhance.
What were we gonna roll for research, Guido?
So that's going to be...
Is it academics or investigation or?
Well, if it's the one I was doing before, he gave me something that was investigate, academics, and intelligence.
That was separate.
Oh.
That was to determine if you would actually be able to know any of the information that I had sent you.
Okay.
For this, now I'm deaf.
What?
I just heard Jim rattling around on his desk. Okay, so go ahead and roll. Okay, so for Frank and Marcus, go ahead and roll medicine, investigation, and intelligence.
All in one roll?
Yep.
Medicine, investigation, intelligence.
Mara, you're going to roll computer plus investigation plus wits.
Computer plus
investigation plus wits.
Investigation plus wits. So that's 6, 7. 7.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. 3 successes. I am a fucking genius.
All right.
An underachieving genius who likes to cosplay as a furry. Underachieving furry cosplayer genius.
Okay.
Who likes foxtail butt plugs.
Everyone needs a hobby.
Too much? Too much?
Too much or not enough?
Yeah. So your internet search, Mara, you get several websites, Angel Fire, GeoCities, Xsites.
What?
Oh,
you remember those?
Do those still exist?
You remember those?
Oh, I remember
them.
That reference hats, remedies for fixing Blackwater, and Harriet Tubman.
remedies for fixing Blackwater. Enhance.
Sewage,
know.
basically.
Sewage?
Black water.
Is sewage.
It's like camping RV term, black water.
Ugh. Okay, well, what were the other things?
Hats and Harriet Tubman.
What were your search terms?
Blackwater Hattie?
Oh, never mind. I'm not in there. Never mind.
Is that Hatty? Hattie?
I.E., but...
Hattie.
Yeah.
And then Blackwater. Hattie. Well, I guess I'll investigate Blackwater first. Because that seems the most...
Okay. Go ahead and give me another roll.
Same roll?
Same roll, that's fine. Frank and Marcus.
3 successes.
Okay. So Frank and Marcus.
Yeah.
Any particular thing you're trying to look into specifically?
Well, I mean, we already know Hattie is a ninja. Blackwater
hold on.
Hattie.
Hold on. You guys were looking for...
Oh, right. Sorry. I was completely wrong direction.
I wasn't going to look for anything that was dealing with mystical type mind control. Or...
Okay.
Yeah, mind control / I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. Well, I guess it'd be mind control anyway, but like forced visions, like you could implant a vision in someone else's noggin.
Okay. So you find some resources on... what is it when someone uses like the stopwatch to...
Hypnosis?
Hypnotism.
Hypnosis. So you find some resources on hypnosis. Well done.
Well done.
Admittedly, you did roll a 1.
Actually,
I rolled 1 success.
Yes.
all right. I actually wanted to ask if I could... Well, it's sort of that thing where it's like, I rolled well, and I'm not sure whether or not I should go with that or risk a different roll, which may actually be more along the lines of what I might try and search for. Because...
Stop thinking about it and just ask the question.
All right, basically, I'm trying to ask because if I was going to search for something, it would be we already have some very weird stuff going on, and we know that something has done something that's making us, or at least I know I'm hallucinating. I know I'm visually hallucinating. I know I'm hearing things, and someone or something has done it to us while we were at the hospital. There's not a lot of things that could have done it, but if there's some other kind of influence here, I was wondering if I could search for induced hallucinations and anything related to the occult or something where someone would, like I said, kind of be able to cause this in another person. Because I know I wasn't I know, or at least I'm fairly certain, apart from a brief period where I was unconscious, I think, or asleep, that I wasn't injected with anything. I didn't receive any medicine or pills. But something still happened at some point. So I'm narrowing it down. I think with what we've seen so far, occult is not out of the realm of possibility. It's one of the things I would thought of. Plus, I have 2 points in occult, so it may be one of the first things I think of.
Okay. Give me another roll.
What would you like?
Basically the same thing.
Okay. There's 3 dice. Boned.
So...
Ouch.
0.
Yeah, you basically find resources that say you've taken so much LSD, you should be dead.
I don't think I did.
Hey, Guido.
Yeah.
Question. How far back was the night we spent in the hospital? Was that just last night? Or 2 nights ago?
So last night you were in your apartment.
Right. Oh, that's right.
That was the night that your dad jumped through the window. It was the night before that you went to rescue your dad.
That was the night everything went down. Okay.
Excuse me.
Is there... Okay, can I do another roll? I'd like to... Instead of mystical, I'd like to steer it a little more supernatural, just based on the wild-ass shit I've seen in last night with my dad.
Okay. So backing up just a little bit here. Keep in mind, you're basically using a card catalog at this point. Do you remember those?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
You're right. You know what? We're going about this the wrong way. What we need to do is go find the goddamn professor who's an expert on weird fucking whatever this shit is. I'm trying to think of the field of study. Just like ancient, not myths, but ancient.
Not archaeologists, but
No, there is studies that cover this. I'm just having a really hard time coming up with the area of study.
If it's something cultural, it would be like an anthropologist who may be familiar with different, legends and lore, things like that. Mythology, if it's something that's related to the occult, it could have something that has a history.
Right. There might just be a general occult studies.
Or it could
I
be.
mean, maybe. We'd have to look. I mean, we're janitors. We don't know everything that's taught here.
okay. So what's your plan?
I'm going to go back and ask the receptionist lady if there is an occult studies professor on this campus. And if not, please point me to those particular books in this library.
Okay. So you head back to the receptionist desk. Barbara is not there. There's an older gentleman that is currently at the desk. And what's Mara doing at this point?
I don't know. I just rolled again, and then you didn't say anything.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I had 3 successes.
Okay, and so you were looking more into the black water. You find references to MK Ultra and isolation tanks.
MK Ultra?
No shit.
The fuck is that?
So the government did research back in what was it, the 60s, 70s?
I think it was late 60s, early 70s.
Officially sanctioned in 53. Reduced scope 64, curtailed in 67, halted in 73.
Okay.
It is the CIA's mind control program.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, basically they pumped people full of LSD, put them in isolation tanks, and tried to get their minds to expand.
That sounds awesome. And terrifying.
By the way,
depending on which...
if you haven't seen Stranger Things yet, holy crap, what a good show.
It's on my list.
Okay. So I come across that. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it because I don't, like, do I know that they're under some sort of influence? Like, what do I know about them?
Other than they've been acting crazy, I mean...
Yeah, like, I don't know that they're, like...
Leper shark.
Well, I know that they're acting crazy, but I don't... Do I know...
No.
That it's not just, like, stress of watching his father jump off of the, balcony or whatever.
Other than the stress started before his father ran through the window.
Right.
I mean, you don't have a lot to work with. And
right.
Keeping in mind, this is...
should I roll for how much I've picked up on?
At this point, keeping in mind, this is the 90s. There's not a lot of websites. You don't have, Wikipedia. You don't have,
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that are posting stuff on the internet for...
I was gonna say, how far am I gonna get if I click on MK whatever?
It's gonna give you some really cool information that's totally worthless.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Like, if I don't know what I'm looking for, how far am I gonna dig?
So, at this point, I would recommend regroup. Meet back up at the receptionist desk.
I mean, I've picked up on the fact that crazy person at the hospital has said Blackwater Hattie, which somehow maybe ties into MKX Ultra, whatever. But that's it. Like, I don't necessarily know how that ties into us. Whatever. I'll file that away and go back and find them, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
We haven't done some
What about
basic
Hattie, though? That was just Blackwater.
Don't know.
So again, it...
Well, I just, I clicked on... I followed the Blackwater search term and came across that, but I don't know anything about Hattie. The only other things that popped up were, Hats and Harriet Tubman?
Yeah. Because Hattie is a shortened version of Harriet.
Oh, is it really? Oh. Well, you know what? To be thorough, I think I'm going to check out Harriet Tubman, too.
Okay.
Because that's... Why not?
Okay. You learned some interesting stuff about history.
That's it. Okay. That's what I figured. All right. I will leave and return to the pack.
Okay.
Okay.
You were about to say something. Go ahead, Jim.
I was just thinking, we're in here researching mystical stuff. We haven't done the basics.
We haven't looked to see if Blackwater Hattie's in the phone book yet.
Well, but I was thinking, why don't we go over and find some med students and just have them run some tests on our blood? Maybe there's something in the water there.
Do they do that? Without asking questions?
They're medical students. I bet you they'll jump at the chance to practice on someone.
Okay. So you want to leave the library, or?
Right now, I think I would like to. I think it might be a good idea for all of us, actually, to get tested.
Oh, fuck that. Nobody's touching me.
Well, then why not? You can be the control case. That doesn't make sense.
There's nothing wrong with me. Fine.
Well, that's kind of the point, though. If we were exposed to something and you weren't, that may be, what happened to us that didn't happen to you.
I just want to see if they can find anything weird. Because shit is not right in my head.
Yeah, because the book I looked at said I should be high on LSD right now. So if someone doped me somehow without my knowledge, I'd kind of like to know what I'm dealing with here, because I was seeing eyeballs in my fucking breakfast.
Have we reconvened yet? Are we back together?
I assume so. I thought we just kind of did without saying it.
Sure.
All right.
I don't know.
It's fine.
If you want to stay here and like research what we were gonna, or like I was gonna try to research supernatural hypnotism or mind control.
Well,
More power
we
to
need
you.
to talk about what we found.
Which was.
I mean, you guys don't know what I found yet because we haven't discussed it.
Why don't you tell me what you found, crazy furry lady?
I found stuff about Harriet Tubman. She was a swell gal.
She was.
Okay, so I searched for Blackwater Hattie, and I followed a lead on the Blackwater keyword and came across a project called, what is it?
Project Ultra.
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra, technically.
Does that ring any bells for you guys?
I just had to do a little bit about it in college, nothing big.
Never heard of it.
Okay. That, I think it was like CIA, like a mind control study or project that involved LSD and sensory deprivation chambers.
LSD?
LSD, yes.
So, didn't you find something about LSD?
Yeah, well, I've been, like I said, I've been kind of seeing things, and I don't know what's causing it, but one of the things it said is hallucinations were, like I've had, or it could be related to LSD. So.
Then I think we definitely need to go get our blood work done.
So you guys are potentially tripping on LSD.
We were potentially tripping balls.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that's the weird thing. I mean, I'm still seeing stuff, but I'm not feeling anything. It just sort of happened. You're supposed to feel high, right? I mean, I don't know what this shit is, but...
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
I've never done LSD. I don't know.
She says, hoping we believe her.
Yeah, I've never done LSD. I swear.
I want to get checked out.
Okay.
Do you want to stay here and do
Now-
research? Or do you want to come with us?
Really,
What?
really quick. You guys are having this conversation basically at the reception desk, right?
Yes, we are in front of the old man.
Okay. I want each of you to roll perception.
Perception is what again?
Oh, sorry.
Wits plus composure. Really?
Or
Wits plus composure.
Oh, I just pulled that out of my ass. I was right.
Why are you keeping your perception up your ass?
I mean, isn't that where you keep yours?
No. One success for Frank.
One for me.
All right, wits plus composure. I
Oh,
don't see
Jesus.
this damn thing.
Holy shit, Kaz. How'd you fail with that many
No,
no,
dice?
that's fine. Actually, that makes sense. That makes sense. So Kaz is facing away from the reception desk, and Marcus is facing away from the reception desk. Frank and Mara are facing him, facing the reception desk.
Uh-oh. I will stab a bitch.
As you're having this conversation and you mention the name Blackwater Hattie, the gentleman behind the desk staggers. His face turns white as a sheet pale.
I'm going to step to him.
You're
I'm gonna get behind Marcus and peek around.
Frank is stepping towards.
I'm gonna like flip Marcus around, like turn him around, and then stand behind him.
I'm going to step to him to the point, like, I am not touching him, but he is not getting around me without serious deviation of his course.
As you step towards him, you can hear him. No, it can't be. You can't know that name. How could you know that name?
Long story. Who is it? What is it?
He trips over the chair behind him, stumbling to the floor.
Jesus Christ. I'll go help him up.
Okay. As you help him up, you can feel him trembling in your like hand, arm, however you're picking him up. His whole body is just trembling with fear.
You're safe here.
I haven't heard that name
Calm
in
down.
ages.
What is that name? We've been trying to find it. We haven't found anything.
Follow me.
Okay.
Where? Where are we going?
I'd like to know where we're going before I start
Excuse me.
following you.
I've got a gun. We're all right.
My office.
All right.
Okay.
I'll go with him.
Okay.
That sounds safe enough.
Everybody else going?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow like at the back and stay by the door, just as sort of this is a little,
Well,
what
you're
the
not
hell's
to his
going
office
on?
yet. You're not to his
Yeah.
office yet. The old man takes you deeper into the library. Reference books, long out of print for law, medicine, and history, surround you. You notice fewer and fewer people as you walk further past shelves of books that you figure haven't been touched in years. You come to a door marked Maintenance, where the old man takes out a set of keys, opens the door, and ushers you inside.
I'll go with it.
Okay. The main office is small, but comfortably fits a desk, a couch, and a chair. The desk is covered with stacks of paper, and the couch is covered in dust. It's likely that no one has been in this room since the reference books outside were first published.
This is your office, eh?
The man walks in and sits at the desk. My name is Emmett. He starts rustling around the desk, obviously looking for something. Frustrated, he gives up, looking up and sighing. His eyes light up as he looks past you and starts walking towards the wall. He stops, turning, going back past the desk. He disappears into a storage closet. You hear him fumbling around for a moment and see the door to an old combination safe open. He comes back out a moment later, directing your attention to a map of Arkham that appears to show historical time periods of civilization. Do any of you know the history of Arkham?
I know some of it. I know started out as a trading hub that, because it was so close to the river, they had a lot of, it was for a lot of shipping. And I took this class years ago. I don't know how much I recall. I know that there was.
However much detail you want to give on what I sent you, go ahead and do it now.
All right, that's the thing. Because I'm trying to go back and remember, because my mind suddenly just like completely shut down for a second there. All right, just interpret this as me kind of actually saying it like a somewhat coherent human being, which I'm clearly not at the moment. But yes, trading post on the Miskatonic in the 17th century. The river helped them move goods around. They wanted it to be more of a trading hub, but it never really it thrived, but it never really got huge like a big city. Around the time that it started expanding in sea trade, there was a lot of slaves brought over who escaped. Sorry. I can't even say that with a straight face.
Hey, and everybody's still in the correct place. Yay.
Yay.
Okay, so Marcus was talking about the history of Arkham. So, would you like to continue?
All right. And then I was like, wait a minute. I do remember one thing, though. When a bunch of the slaves that were brought over from, I don't remember where, but they escaped into the forest. And right around that time, I think a little while after, people started going out looking for them, trying to round them up, but people just weren't coming back. And I think it was right around that year that there was some kind of major heat wave that ended up with like the whole town just getting really, like there was a plague in the town. There's something about, actually, I think that maybe they said something about like when people were coming, like that summer when there was all this flooding, that the water was that's what they were talking about, that black water, because they said the water was stagnant and brought a lot of disease in. Maybe something that, I don't know, but
okay.
Interesting. What's the old man say? Or were you done, Marcus?
Yeah, I just basically, like I said, think of that, except, coherent. Because I was just sort of like, what am I going? I'm frantically skimming the article that Guido gave me.
Okay.
Would you like me to read what I wrote up, or you want to have it later?
Wrote up about what?
I basically created history for Arkham.
Sure, here.
I think you're muted, Jim.
I wasn't really speaking that loud.
Oh, okay. So yes, you want to hear it, or?
I would like to hear it.
Okay. I mean, it's going to be a couple of minutes of me reading, so I wanted to.
Okay. Use your best radio announcer voice.
Sunday. No, wait, sorry. Arkham began its existence as a simple trading post at the mouth of the Miskatonic River in the 17th century. The river provided a natural transportation route for the lumber and other natural resources of the area, and a steady flow of trade and commerce soon formed, aided further by the town's location along the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. Arkham grew steadily over time as homes, buildings, churches, and streets began to spread outward from the southern shore of the river. Local farms in the surrounding countryside provided ample food for the residents, and the nearby forests and hills provided the raw material that fueled the construction of the town's growth. The combination of local industry and steady trade from other cities through the town's seaport created a vibrant economy that spurred further growth and expansion. Though still much smaller than other New England towns such as Boston or Providence, Arkham had become the largest town in the Miskatonic region by the mid-18th century, surpassing older towns such as Dunwich and Innsmouth. During the mid-18th century, local sea captains made a concentrated effort to expand Arkham's sea trade and turn Arkham into a significant port for international goods. Sprawling docks and warehouses were constructed on the coastline north of the river to attract merchants and traders. The effect was successful, and Arkham for years served as a frequent stop for merchant ships traveling between America, Europe, Africa, and the West Indies. This resulted in a fresh flow of riches, slaves, and money coming into the town, and expansion and growth of the city itself became a priority. The summer of 1762 was unusually hot, humid, and congested. Earlier that spring, a group of refugees from the Caribbean islands had escaped their slave captors and disappeared into the forest surrounding Arkham. Slave ship captains and their crews, charged with locating and returning the slaves to auction, flooded the area, the most prominent of which was Jeremiah Orne. At the request of the sea captains, the first permanent bridge was built to span the Miskatonic River, and the city slowly began to expand north. As the slave captains and crews searched the swamps to the north of Arkham, fewer and fewer would return from each search party. Rumors of things in the swamp that would eat a man whole, giant freshwater crocodiles as big as longboats, and snakes that could swallow a horse, combined with reports of compasses that wouldn't point north, and trails disappearing behind you, losing track of days at a time and being swallowed by quicksand. Shortly after the completion of the bridge, a plague befell the city, with weather reportedly reaching 100 degrees for weeks on end as the rain fell non-stop. Eventually, the swamps to the north overflowed, and what water didn't get swept up in the now torrential river was stagnant and dark. Those patients that were able to get to a doctor reported symptoms of nausea, fever, black vomit, lethargy, and yellow skin discoloration. Dr. Jackson, Jeremiah Orne's own ship surgeon, was the first reported fatality.
Black vomit, eh?
So, this is basically... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was trying to, get, the bullet points of that, but have it something I half remembered, because I didn't want to, and Marcus suddenly busts out with this 2-page soliloquy of, let me tell you about the history of Arkham. He is, he's kind of a bit of a fuck-up, but he knew something of it.
Mm-hmm. No, it was good. It was good. So... basically, this is the history that Marcus recounts. And at this point, Emmett's voice... At this point, Emmett interrupts. You remember the slaves that escaped, right? They weren't the only slaves on that ship. Whole tribe whole tribe of them, as it were, stolen from a Jamaican sugar plantation. They knew what was wrong. They warned them pirates not to go looking for the runaways. They knew. They knew Hattie was one of them. Voodoo witch, they said. Leave her be, they said. But the pirates didn't listen. They wanted the slaves back. All they cared about was the profit, until they started dying.
Oh. Oh.
Who's Hattie?
Hattie. Harriet Tubman.
I don't think it was actually Harriet Tubman.
No.
Dude, if we meet Harriet Tubman, this is the greatest game ever. Time travel. Make it happen, Guido.
No. Well, at least not until one of you becomes a mage.
Ooh.
I accept your challenge.
I'm a magent. I will work for the magency. Oh yeah. That my question remains: is who is Harriet or Hattie? I don't get it. Who's Hattie?
I'm guessing somebody who knows.
Thing, get out of the picture.
What the hell is
Basil.
It's green.
It matches the green screen pretty much perfectly. Yeah.
It's Invisibasil.
Oh. I hear that's quite.
It's quite tasty.
Pungent.
Good stuff. You get it fresh.
So, pirates started saying Hattie was the cause of the plague. The hunting parties got more and more bold and ventured further and further into the swamps. At least they thought they did. Sometimes you could see the hunters just inside the tree line yelling for each other. Lost as all get out. About 2 months went by. Constant rain, yellow fever, they found out later. That was what hit the town. At least that's what the historians say. They blamed Hattie, though. The whole town did. Eventually, they gave up talking about capturing her and started talking about hanging her.
So she was a runaway slave?
Yeah.
That's okay.
What, she's some kind of voodoo witch?
Yep.
Voodoo
Sounds like
swamp witch?
Emmett looked around the room furtively. It said she heard them talking about hanging her, and you could hear her laughing from the swamp all the way across town and the rushing of the water from the river.
Did anybody ever come back? With any kind of details ever? Or they just lost?
Well, let me continue with this here.
All right.
By the end of the second month, the pirates that survived left, taking the last of the slaves and hunting parties with them. A few days later, the interim mayor found a cauldron in the town square, sitting on cold stones boiling away as if over a roaring fire. He called a town meeting and they voted unanimously to drink the potion to counteract the plague.
Oh. How did they know it was a potion?
I guess they decided it was better to die than continue to be hounded by the plague and devastation of the rains. Town meeting. And they just... Anyway.
They were just like, we're going to drink this random pot of shit?
All right, on today's agenda, Article
I can think of
7A,
better ways to
drinking
kill
mysterious
yourself.
goo found in town square.
Keep in mind, this is several hundred years ago, and history doesn't record all of the facts.
Oh, fair enough.
The next day, the cauldron was gone. The plague was gone. The sky cleared and the crops recovered. The town council voted to, instead of hang Hattie, they wanted to find her and bring her to town to use her magic for good.
Oh, okay. I'm sure she'll just be like, sure. I'll come on back.
Speaking of which, I need to pull up a link again. Let's see. Where is it? That's what I want. Yep.
Oh, God, what is that?
Yeah, that was loud.
Like that?
Oh, it was like a humming sound.
humming sound.
Okay, so don't open the link yet, but I'm putting it into the chat there. All right, so
Okay.
the town council sent out another hunting party. Like I said, not to hunt or hurt or capture Hattie, but to invite her to the town. 10 men left that day, and 3 days later, they returned. None of them the same as they'd left. They never found Hattie, and they never found where she'd holed up. And to this day, no one has made a trip back to look for her. He takes.
Presumably, she's dead. Oh,
He
sorry.
takes. He takes what he had taken from the safe earlier was a document, a parchment, and he hands it to you. Whoever wants to reach for it. They found this note tacked to a stump.
I'll look at
All right. We can both look at it. It'll be fun.
Go ahead and open the link.
Oh.
Who has like who all has academics?
Me.
One.
Okay.
I have one in academics.
All right. So all of you roll.
Ah,
Just straight, straight academic.
Intelligence plus academics.
Intelligence plus academics is 3.
what? Ugh.
2 successes for Frank.
Okay.
Count them 2,
right.
which is 2 more than Mara. She's worthless.
Okay. So Marcus and Frank, you can tell that this is papyrus. This is ancient paper.
Papyrus is a skin, though, isn't it? It's like sheepskin or something.
No, it's made out of reeds.
Oh.
Egyptian.
This... I'll just say that. This is papyrus.
You can also tell that the writing is wet.
Still?
Oh.
It's fresh.
What does it smell like?
Blood.
Thought so.
I dare you to lick it.
That's not what I was
No,
thinking,
thanks.
but
I'm
wondering...
as you're investigating it, Emmett says, "This document has been handed down through my family for generations. You see, I myself am a descendant of Jeremiah Orn. We have had this document since Hattie wrote it 200 years ago.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Go
I
ahead.
don't know what to make of all this. Do you
300 years ago.
think
My-
she's still
Nobody wants-
there?
She's probably wherever it was. Where is that area now? In Arkham.
It's north of the university.
Is it developed? Undeveloped?
Well,
Swamp? Dry land? Lake? Pond? Ocean?
so
Grassland?
Emmett
savanna?
takes you over to the map and shows you approximately where the university is. And a couple of miles north, wait, yeah, a couple of miles north is Essex, Massachusetts. And just south of Essex lies several lakes that they believe, or he believes, could be that swamped area that they were referring to.
Okay.
All right.
You said that a lot of the guys that went looking sometimes they didn't even make it very far, and they thought they were like lost. Apparently, like they just inside the tree line.
Right.
So apparently, this Blackwater Hattie was messing with their heads. Have you ever heard of any kind of cure for that? Because myself and Marcus are being forced to see things at times that we don't want to see.
Well, I would assume that if she had the ability to mess with minds, she would also have the ability to. She had the ability to cloud man's mind. She would also have the ability to remove that affliction.
But have you ever heard of a way to remove it without her intervention?
Do we have to go looking for
Nope.
her?
I'm not sure.
No one has
No to which
mentioned
question?
her in 60 years.
Okay.
Who was the last person
Only
to mention?
60?
My
Doc
dad,
Brown
when he
at
told
the
me
hospital.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what Guido said.
it's your
about her, I said my dad when he told me about her.
Is your dad still alive?
No, like I said, that was like 40 years ago, and
So-
this is an old man. He's like easily 60.
Oh,
So how
Well-
could someone just a few hours ago have told us to go looking for Blackwater Hattie?
a couple days ago, but yeah.
I thought it was I thought it was the day before.
A day or
like-
two. It doesn't really matter.
All right.
To give you the background of that, my dad was in kind of like the mental ward of a hospital, and he got a note to me that was very coherent, but except things were essentially coming to get him, and he wanted me to get him out of there no matter what the cost. And we went in there, and ever since then, Marcus and I have been seeing shit, and we were leaving this old guy who looked like a movie that hasn't actually been shot yet. A guy, like this old guy with that crazy white hair, and he was like, Marty! He said something about Blackwater Hattie. Does anybody remember exactly what he said about Blackwater Hattie?
fine.
Yeah.
Was it Find Blackwater Hattie?
Yeah, he said
I
something about
think-
find Blackwater Hattie. They come for us at night. Something like that.
Is that accurate? I honestly don't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah. It's like 24 hours or 3 months ago. Take your pick. I don't recall the exact words, but that was kind of the gist of it. And then he was almost immediately tackled to the ground, I think, by orderlies as we were making our getaway.
Is that good, Guido? Find Blackwater Hattie? Was that it?
That was what he said. Yes, find Blackwater Hattie. So
Okay.
Of course, this theoretically was a crazy person telling us this.
Well,
So,
as far
are
as
we getting?
as far as
Go
us
ahead.
running into people who should be dead, that's not the first one we've had this week.
That's true.
Fuck. Yeah, that's true. But I don't know how enthusiastic I am to go wandering around a swamp to look for a 300-year-old witch who can fuck with people's minds. Like I said, in a swamp. It could be full of gators that could be real or imagined, because I can't always tell what's real or not anymore. But I don't know what other choice we have.
So what exactly is it that you're asking the old guy at this point?
I didn't ask him anything.
Okay.
I'm talking to Marcus and Mara at this point.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to feel them out to see what they think.
I feel fine.
You want to go trudging around the swamp, furry?
Not particularly,
All right.
but how else? I mean, what else are we gonna do? You guys are obviously affected by something.
Marcus?
I mean, I guess I'm gonna tag along regardless, so
Such penmanship
Whatever.
from fucking Blackwater Hattie, too.
Well, all I know is something's in my head. I don't know how it got there. I want it gone, but Nothing in this makes sense, so I don't know what to say. If that's where we're headed, then that's where we're headed.
If there's, let me rephrase that. At this point, as incredibly insane and dangerous as it seems, we don't appear to have another path.
Not really, no.
So if we were going to go try to find Blackwater Hattie in these swamps, is there any advice you could give us other than, don't?
Go.
You can come with. You can come with.
Yeah. We can feed you to the gators.
Gator bait, gator bait.
Well, I mean, as far as... I'm sorry.
Enter the swamp without malice in your heart.
Enter the swamp without malice in my heart. About anything?
Well, certainly towards Hattie.
Oh, I can enter a swamp without malice towards Hattie. I think Hattie is the only one that can help us. I don't think she's wronged us. I'm down to meet Hattie.
I'd like to know what the hell this connection has to do with the hospital.
I don't know, but the guy at the hospital is the one that said find Blackwater Hattie.
Yeah.
That's all we
I
need.
definitely don't have any malice. I'm curious.
It's sort of puzzle pieces, though. Like, there's something at the hospital that can screw with your mind. She can screw with your mind. This guy is a link between the two. And, we don't have the picture, but these pieces fit.
Now, are you actually talking about the Doc Brown
Guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like we can go back to the hospital and talk to him anymore.
So,
Well, I mean, we could try.
Could we?
We don't even know what his name was. We're going to go door to door inside that place, so they would recognize us before we got to the second floor.
We can't go back there. As you recall, some of us assaulted people there. All of us ran away.
I did not assault anyone. Somebody assaulted me, clearly.
All of us would probably be tackled on sight.
Meh.
okay. So, but you are talking about the crazy-haired guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure we've mentioned him at some point about, or at least what he was saying to us and, how it's related to what we're doing now.
Okay. So, in reference to talking about him, Emmett says, Jack? He was an old man when I was just a boy. I haven't seen him since my dad's funeral.
Who?
Oh, good.
Jack was his
The
name?
person in the hospital? How do you know it's the same
Crazy
person?
hair guy, just from the description that you were giving, that's who he is assuming you are talking about.
Okay. Well, I think given that this old guy knows all the crazy shit that's been going on, it's believable for him to think that this old guy is still alive. Right? Because most people would be like, that's impossible. But this old guy's like, oh yeah, that's possible.
Well, he could be 98 for all we know.
He looked pretty old.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is like,
Yeah.
this is normal for this guy?
So...
Keep in mind, he also has a letter written on 2,000-year-old paper.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is normal for this guy. Like, he's not blinking an eye at the fact that this is a really old guy in the hospital that was really old when he was a boy.
200-year-old still moist blood.
300.
300.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm verifying that this is okay.
Yeah, I'm willing to take quite a bit on faith at this point.
Right.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Okay, never mind.
We
No.
got... So, we agree
Okay.
with you.
So, I mean, that's also kind of another link, is that if he knew this guy when he was young, could make the connection that he probably knew his dad, which means that's another connection that would know someone who would know who Blackwater Hattie was, since this guy found out about it from his dad.
So, okay.
So this old guy could potentially be 300 years old?
I don't know if he's
I don't
that
know.
old.
I'm
but
not
he's
willing to go
very
that far
old.
yet, but you never know. Well, we can't go back and talk to him really either, so we're kind of stuck.
How old is the guy we're talking to now, Emmett? How old does he look?
You said 60s, is right? 70s, 60s?
Yeah, I mean, 60s, 70s would not be... I mean... somewhere in that range is not unrealistic.
And the guy the crazy, guy with the wild hair from the start, he looked very old. Like, even older.
About the same age.
Is there any advice you could give us knowing that we were going to be seeking out Blackwater Hattie?
No mouse.
Other than the no malice.
I can draw you a map to the nearest road where you would be able to enter into the swamp area.
That would be exceptionally helpful.